Hello and welcome to Ham Nation, episode 518 for April 13th, 2022. And hello, everybody. Welcome to Ham Nation, episode 518. Appreciate you coming out again to check out what we have going on. We do have a busy show, bit of a HamVention theme. We're going to talk about the fun things that are going on. Hopefully, you're planning on attending. A lot of us will be there. Make sure you do come up and say hi. But let's go say hi to the host right now. So here we go. Well, we got a Skype window. I think that's Gordo. We'll find out in a second. Maybe he's got a secret there for us. Randy, how you doing? Starting off at the top.
Oh, we're doing great. We're having some rain here in Oregon. I kind of rebuilt the ham station here over the last couple of weeks. Doing good.
All right. Don, how are you doing?
Doing good. It seems like every Wednesday night we're having bad weather, but it looks like it's escaped us tonight. It's more up to the north, up around Jackson and points north. So I think we'll do okay without maybe getting tornadoes and stuff tonight. Got a great, speaking of weather, great solar weather segment with Dr. T in the Newsline segment, and got a big show, Josh.
Well, thank you very much for being on. Well, we'll check. Is that Gordo? Gordo, are you there behind the Skype window?
I am here, and we're sending everyone nice, warm weather from Southern Cal.
Check your little camera button. It looks like it might be off there. I'm only seeing a Skype S there for you, representing you today.
Well, at least you have my voice.
I do. That's what really counts. That's what we need.
He looks frozen on my end here, so.
And I see him in person. I see all of his movements.
Oh.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
Okay. Well, I'll get that hopefully refreshed here in a second. We'll throw it to Amanda. Amanda, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Josh. Thanks so much. Thanks once again for running this crazy show. And you did it way under the gun tonight. So we appreciate that. Everyone, stick around. We're going to have Tim Duffy here. He's going to talk first, and he's going to be talking all about Contest U and how everyone can join in and hopefully do it in person this year in Dayton. And if not, they're going to have some other options for you. So stay tuned for that. I did want to give out, before I turn it over to Tim, I have a big announcement, everybody. And this is kind of mentioned to my peers, but I don't think they read it in the email. So, and then somebody on Facebook found out, and it's been a little bit on Facebook. So I said, I've got to let the cat out of the bag before I didn't let my own viewers know first. So everyone, I'm going to be the next Colorado section manager for the ARRL. And that's going to take place June 30th.
Yay.
So,
Wow.
yay. I'm so excited, really excited to be taking over this position. I was not elected. I am just filling the shoes of a good friend of mine, Robert Wareham, N0ESQ, who has decided to split his time between Panama and Colorado. So looking forward to taking on this new role, and it's exciting. So, all right, with that, let's introduce the man of the hour, Tim, K3LR. Take it away.
Well, thanks very much, Amanda, and thanks to all of you for having me here tonight. And I remember being a section manager once, 2016 to 2018. So it's congratulations, Amanda. That is a tremendous. I couldn't think of a better person in Colorado to be section manager, and you're going to have a ball, and your leadership will pay off. Speaking of leadership, we are just weeks away from the Dayton HamVention, which is now in Xenia, Ohio, but that's okay. It is at the Greene County Fairgrounds, and what a phenomenal place for it. But the great thing about HamVention is that there are a lot of other activities that are built around the HamVention. And the HamVention is on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But for instance, Oxcom is the days prior to HamVention, which is a great activity for anybody who's in MCOM, and also 4 days in May, which is the QRP guys. They get together at the Holiday Inn. And this year, Contest University, Contest Dinner, Top Band Dinner, and the Contest Super Suite have all moved to the Hope Hotel, which is right adjacent to the Air Force Base. We're very excited about that. We've got all 265 rooms are hams. So what we are excited about for that is that when there's complaints at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's a ham's fault. So we're really looking forward to that. And the people at the Hope Hotel have been very good for us to deal with. And we are excited to move these tremendous events there. So, Josh, let's bring up the Contest University website. And this is contestuniversity.com. And here you will find all the information about what's going on this year, the transition from the Crown Plaza out to the Hope Hotel, and also all the information for this year on how to sign up. And so if we go to the tab about the outline, this is the course outline, and these are all the topics that will be covered during Contest University. Many times there will be 4 different topics going on, 4 different classrooms, and it is just an unbelievable amount of information. You get a textbook, we have breakfast and lunch. It goes from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it's, our foot is on the gas, really going strong, and just so much to learn. And also, if you want to know about the professors that are giving these talks, we can go to the next tab, Josh, and that's the professor bios are all there. And these are all experts, not only in contesting, but operating, station building, analyzing radio equipment, Rob Sherwood, NC0B, RTTY experts, FT8 experts. So we cover just a whole gambit of folks, and we're really excited about it. If you go to the files section, Josh, you will see that we have, in the files section, we have all of the presentations for the last several years. So all of those PDFs are up there, so you can download them, you can present them to your club. There's lots of great information, and that's all free. And then if you go to the videos area, we have videos of a lot of the Contest University presentations. And so those are available through YouTube, but you can click on them right here from the Contest University website. We will be live streaming. Smoke and Solder George will be up, and one of the classrooms, we think classroom number 1, will be live streamed for the entire event. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough volunteers to do all 4 classrooms simultaneously. We'd love to do that, but unfortunately, we just don't have enough bandwidth to do that. And but we're hoping that if you're not able to attend HamVention, that you can spend some time watching. And of course, we will record that live stream so that you can look at it later if you can't watch during the event. So this is at the Hope Hotel. There is still room available. I'm actually surprised, Amanda, at how many registrations we have. We're about 30 days out now, and registrations have been very strong. And we're actually going to have people from all over the world again, from Germany, Japan, South America. So I think that registration will be very, very strong, and that we'll do a great job with Contest University. And I'm really excited about some of the new professors that we have, like N6WIN, who has just built a really nice station in Arizona. He's a young guy with a lot of enthusiasm, and I'm really looking forward to him. Contest University wouldn't happen without the efforts of Ray Novak. Since day one in 2007, when we had our first Contest University, and I asked Ray to help out, he was there, and he has been there by my side the entire way and has supported Contest University. I also, during the initial event opening, so we will have Michael Coulter, who is WHCI. He's the official spokesperson from HamVention. He will give a greeting. And then we will also have David Minster, NA2AA, the CEO of ARRL, will also give a welcome message to the Contest University. So it's a really exciting time. We are back full strength, and it's going to be really good. That's one of 4 events that goes on at the Hope Hotel. And so let's talk about the Contest Super Suite. So it's contestsupersuite.com. And Josh, if you want to bring that up, we'll talk about that. This is where you can get lots of information. above all, you can get the information on the free pizza parties that occur every night. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. We will have free pizza parties, and they're sponsored by the Potomac Valley Radio Club, the Society of Midwest Contesters, also by the Yankee Clipper Contest Club and Contest University. And we've got Contest Super Suite sponsors, North Coast Contesters, the Frankfurt Radio Club, and the Mad River Radio Club. And we just signed a new sponsor yesterday that is sponsoring the Spurious Emissions Band. And they're back together. You know, it's sort of like these groups like the Eagles. They broke up and they couldn't help themselves. They're back together. So the Spurs are back together, 10 o'clock on Friday night in the main ballroom at the Hope Hotel. The Spurs will be back at it. And the sponsor is the Kansas City DX Club, Spurious Emissions Band. And just go on YouTube and search Spurious Emissions Band, and your stomach's going to hurt. I guarantee it, because you're going to laugh. Don't Cry for Me, Hera Arena. You know, I mean, it was one of the better ones. There's I'm not going to work on Duffy's Farm no more. You know, lots of great hits.
I had to mute because I was crying, laughing so hard. We're so happy. Spurious Emissions, thank you guys for coming back together. Awesome.
Yeah. So Ward Silver and W4PA and K4RO and all the gang are back together, and it's going to be a great event. So, and it's a free event too. So the Contest Super Suite runs all 4 nights, and we have a nice area that is bolted onto the bar. So, and we have the free pizza parties. We have the Spurious Emissions Band. On Saturday night, we have the Kansas City CW Copying Contest. And Josh, if you want to bring up that website again, we'll show, if you go to the contest-related events, which is the next tab over, this is blow by blow what's going to go on if you're interested in contesting and DXing. This talks about this. You should print this out, and this should be kind of your dance card for the entire weekend at HamVention and at the Hope Hotel. In there, and I know Randy's going to talk about the antenna forum, but all the antenna forum stuff is there. The contest forum is there. The RTTY forum is there. So all of the things that are going on, you don't want to miss out. It's going to be a really great event. After 2 years of not being there, we had some great virtual contest universities, and we recorded those, and those are available on the website. But just go to contestuniversity.com or contestsupersuite.com, and if you want the last event of the events that goes on is the big contest dinner, and here's where we'll have about 500 hams all together on Saturday night. And I started the contest dinner with N3RA back in 1993, and our keynote speaker that night was Joe Rudy, NK7U. Yeah, the baseball player, the famous baseball player. He's back. He's going to talk this year. And so it seems appropriate. New venue, a 2-year absence. And so Joe and his wife Sharon will be there at the Hope Hotel, and Joe will be talking. He'll be the keynote speaker. And we've got an IC7610, courtesy of Icom, and some other really, really good prizes as well. And the fellowship at the contest dinner is just outstanding. If you're interested in 160 meters on Friday night, we have the Top Band dinner, and that's topbanddinner.com. And there's still tickets available for all of these events. So you just go to the respective websites, and you can get more information. You can sign up for tickets, and we can get you all hooked up. It's just one of many ways to have fun during HamVention weekend. Now, big news today. We just signed a deal with a bus company, and we have a bus that starts at 7 a.m. on Friday and Saturday mornings and goes till 5 o'clock, and the bus runs from the Hope Hotel to the front door of HamVention.
Whoa.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So you don't have to walk, and you can bring your boat anchors on and bring them back to the Hope Hotel. But it goes from the front door of the Hope Hotel to the front door of HamVention, so you don't have to worry about driving through all that traffic and all the, futzing around. It makes it really nice. Friday and Saturday only, not on Sunday, but Friday and Saturday. We worked with HamVention and Contest University. We got together and we said, let's make this happen. Let's make it really, really good and really easy to get to HamVention. So 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday and Saturday, there will be a bus running, which is
nice.
I just can't wait for that. That's going to be really, really good. So, Amanda, what kind of questions do we have?
Oh boy, Tim, like 1,000. So, first of all, somebody wanted to know exactly where they could find the schedule at. Josh, is that on the Contest University site, DX Engineering? Tim, is it only on Contest U's site?
So, Contest University on the course outline, that has the schedule for Contest University, yes.
Okay. But every other schedule, and I know you're not a speaker for HamVention in itself, and we couldn't have Mike on tonight, but everything else, I would say look for a schedule on their site, Dayton HamVention.
Well, yes and no. On the Contest Super Suite, under contest-related events, we've got a really good schedule there, too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And Josh is so cool. He puts all of this in the show notes, everybody, so you can always take a look back and and see it all. Next question. This is a personal question. Where do you find the time? Do you ever sleep during HamVention?
I like to think that I don't, because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss anybody. I've been going to HamVention since I was 14 years old, except for 1 year when I was a senior in high school, and my father said I had to give my science fair project instead. I was very upset. But I ended up winning a scholarship that I used to go to college, so it turned out okay in the end. But it's very busy, and by the time we're done on Sunday, you just pour me into the car and drive me home. But it is a lot of work. But I have some really good people like Terry, Kate, MNJ, Melanie, and Scott, N3RA, and the whole DX engineering team. We really work very well together.
It must be your leadership skills, because I'll tell you, I've never talked on the phone to anybody that has been unpleasant at DXE, and just looking for advice and things that I wasn't sure if I was even going to purchase. I can't say enough about your team. Next question. So you've been there forever. Tell us some of the things that we have to see when we go to Dayton, if they're going.
Yeah, so I think there are lots of things that you have to see. I think one of the things that even if you're not looking for something, you got to go look at least through some of the flea market. There's nothing like it on the planet. The other thing at HamVention is to talk to the vendors. Go talk to Ray over at Icom. Go talk to John and the boys over at Yaesu. They're really knowledgeable. They put a lot of work into coming to HamVention. The new team at Heil will be there, and so I'm really excited about Ash and his team. And there is so much, but according to Michael Culture, they're going to have even better food, more food, better food this year. So look for the food trucks to be out in force, and you do want to make sure. And it's tough to do everything, like Carol Perry's youth forum.
Sure.
You want to get inspired, you go sit in that youth forum.
Absolutely.
That really is the real deal. Come to the antenna forum. You'll learn something. Come to the contest forum. Check out the DX forum. There's so much to do. And the issue is you can't do it all, Amanda. It is impossible, but take it all in. I mean,
absolutely. And especially the cheesecake on a stick, I heard.
It's amazing.
That might be good.
It is.
Let's see who else in our team is going. Gordo, you're going.
All right. Yes, I'll be there, and we'll have our instructor workshop, and we look forward to seeing instructors there.
All right. I think, Don, are you out this year?
Yeah, I'm not going to make it this year.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to Huntsville, though, and Young Ham of the Year.
Okay. All right. Josh, you're going.
Oh, definitely. Yep. And along with, I think the whole cadre of YouTube is coming along with us too. So we're all going to be there.
These crazy psychos decided to get an Airbnb together.
We did.
I don't know. What
Yep.
could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
House burns down. I mean,
Right. Their spokesperson's going to be Alfred E. Newman. They're
actually,
all gonna have the
it's
what
going
me
to have
worry buttons.
it's going to have upgraded Wi-Fi. So after
It'll
they
have
leave
to.
you.
Yeah, it'll be how many antennas get set up on a property with 0 antennas when we arrive is really going to be the question. That should be a fun thing to find out.
You did check that there's no HOAs there, or just ask for forgiveness later. In all seriousness, Tim, I would like to say thank you for being here and talking about Contest University again, and it never gets old. And Josh, I'm really going to put you on the spot here because once again, we wanted Mike here. Can you bring up HamVention's website real quick?
Yeah.
Because this goes without saying, and I don't know what they're doing, but we've had 2 years of People of the Year that have not had any recognition for a dinner or anything like that. And I would just like to recognize at least this year's winners, which I think there's a tab there, and I know this is
what am I looking
really
for?
Award winners, maybe.
Oh, you really are putting me on the spot.
I am.
Awards, okay. Attendees and then awards. I'm pulling for it.
Okay.
Let's see.
I think this will have the
achievement?
award. Yes.
Yeah.
There
Yes.
you go.
All right, we got it.
Okay. And I can't read that screen, but I just wanted
sure,
to.
I can read it. It's Club of the Year is the Highland Amateur Radio Association. Special achievement goes to Carrie Bonk or Bonky at K61ZW. Technical achievement is Adam Farson, VA70 AB40J. And Amateur of the Year is Jim Simpson, KF8J.
Nice. Congratulations, everybody, for being winners. And hopefully the past 2 years winners will maybe be acknowledged as well. And everybody that takes the time to vote for those and submit their applications, we appreciate it. So, look, I mean, there's lots of Ham Nation hosts that have won these awards. Ham of the Year, I think Gordo was one, Bob was one, George Thomas was one, Valerie was one. So, you might be coming from the right place if you're on the show. Just saying. Anyhow, did any of the other hosts have any questions for Tim?
I don't.
I like we're going to get much sleep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I would just like to say what a class act Tim and everybody at DX Engineering is, and we really appreciate your support here, Tim. We really do.
Well, thanks very much, and Amanda, I'm on that list. 2016.
2000. Oh my gosh, it took you that long.
That's all good, but yeah, I really appreciate being on the show and all the support that you guys give, not only to these events but also DX Engineering, and we're thrilled to see as many of you as possible. And of course, all those websites that I just mentioned have a contact us. If you have a question, Terry and I are going to see the question, and one or both of us will answer the question. And so I encourage you to use that if you have questions, and we will do our best to help you. And Amanda, unless you have any other questions, I'm going to go off to another club meeting.
No, sir. You go on to that. See, this guy is so busy.
He's so busy.
The only other thing I would like to say is he forgot to name drop somebody very important that's going to be at HamVention. DXC is going to have a huge booth there, so be sure to stop by. And I don't know if you're going to have any freebies or anything, Tim, but you're going to have plenty of eye candy there. So everyone stop by and say hello to him and his team.
Yes.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you,
All
Tim.
right. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, everybody.
See ya. Thanks.
Thanks, Tim.
All right. I do not do a good Ray impression, everybody, but Ray was going to be next.
We had a question come in, and I just don't want to forget it. And since
so sorry.
Randy,
Go ahead.
It's okay. Since Randy's coming up next, question for Randy: how are you liking your travel trailer HF antenna? Thinking of doing the same for mine.
It worked really good at Quartz Fest. I haven't used it since, but the way the mast slides in the back there, I can be set up in 5 minutes. So when I go to Quartz Fest, I spend 3 nights on the road, and every night I was able to slide the mast in there, hook the antenna on the top, pull it out, hook it up to the Icom tuner, and it was great. It worked great for like WinLink, where you jump around different frequencies. The tuner would just start going click, click, and lock you in. I won the FT8 DX Challenge Award at
That's
working Thailand at like 8,400 miles. So I'll be going to Oshkosh this summer. I'll be working with Ray at the at Warbird special event, and I'll be headed east, stop in and see Tim, and I'll have all that and with me on my trip.
All right.
Awesome.
Hey, Gordo, just wanted to say, you look beautiful. Don't touch a thing. Your video's coming in perfect. You're good. We didn't get to say hi to you in the beginning, so hi, Gordo. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it. We'll be talking to him shortly, too.
My compliments to AT&T for working on the outside lines.
Yay.
Live while we're doing it. AT&T made an appointment with you there. So, Amanda, sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, you were fine. Let's see. I cannot impersonate Ray because he's bigger than life in his personality and his graciousness. So he was sorry that he couldn't be here tonight, but he did want to tell everybody about what you could find if you're one of the first 200 patrons to their booth, I believe it is, to get a Icom swag bag. And Josh is going to show us a picture of that. Look at this.
That's nice.
Good colors.
It's awesome. Yeah. Now, what? Okay. Pink would be better, but I'll give this. Icom had the nice carry bag, the water bottle, the shirt, the badge, notepad, pen, you name it, it's there. So be sure to get there as soon as possible and tell Ray hello from Ham Nation. All right. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Oh,
I think
that
we go
brings
talk
us
to Randy.
Yes,
right?
we do. Randy, you're going to follow up on what you're doing at Dayton. So take it away.
Yeah, well, thanks. We're taking a bunch of our Quartz Fest gang there. So myself, Barry,
Nice.
Amy, Jerry, and Natalie are all going to Dayton. We're all staying at the Hope Hotel, so there'll be no sleep going on there. I don't think we'll have a campfire, but we'll be doing everything else. So really looking forward to that. So, and then I got an email from Tim a few weeks ago saying that I'm on the schedule for the antenna forum. So cool. So I put together a few slides of that, and Josh can bring that up. We'll talk a little bit about the antenna forum.
All right. Wrong one.
That's not okay.
Sorry about that. That was from last week. Sorry.
Yeah.
We know
anyway,
that.
The antenna
couple.
forum is Friday from 2 to 5. I don't know where. I guess it's on one of the main tents, buildings, or whatever it is out there. I haven't been there. And there's 4 speakers. You can go up to the next one there now. Tim, W3YQ, is going to talk about important tower and antenna installation and maintenance, and forget what the other is there. But there's a video there I grabbed off of Tim's Facebook site from the store, and that could be Tim's backyard. I'm not sure. Go on to the next one, please. Low band inverted Ls and vertical antennas, improving your radiation performance. So all you top band 1 and 160 guys and gals will want to pay attention to that talk. And then the next one is Frank and W3LPL, and he's going to talk about high performance 6-meter antenna systems. And when I was looking at this picture earlier, and there's like 11 elements on that antenna, and I'm sure he must have multiple of those there on his station. And you can slide on to the next one. And then there's me. So those previous 3 were all, I'd say, big antenna contestation guys. I'm just more of an average guy, maybe a little bit higher, I don't know. But I'm going to talk about my antenna project. And, it looks huge there, but it's not compared to what a lot of these big contesters. And that's a Navasa 5 beam up there. And that's got 2 elements on 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6. So it's kind of, all bands, and it works great, and been having a lot of fun with that. And then we can go on to the next one. So I got thinking about 6 meters, and I had a lot of fun last summer. And Frank there's got that huge antenna, and I just have 2 elements. Now I live in grid CN72, and if you can see that on the map, 72 is just below the CN there, and the majority of my grid is out in the Pacific Ocean. And there's only like 22,000 people in the entire county here, and probably only maybe one other person is on 6. So there's an award from the ARL called the Fred Fish Memorial Award, and this is for guys who worked the 448 grids in the continental United States on 6 meters, and only about 15 people have done that. So when I started to appear up on FT8, where your grid square is one of the major pieces of information, the waterfall just lit up. My mailbox lit up with people wanting to work me. So I worked about 350 stations during the summer.
Wow.
I worked about 150 grids. Some of the guys, we tried with FT8, and we couldn't make it work. So they, said, let's try the meteor scatter, and worked 4 guys doing that, and that's really interesting. You just hear this little bzz, bzz as the signal bounces off the burning tail. Sometimes I had a whole 15-second burn. You just bzzz for the whole time. So really cool. And then there's this new mode that Joe added, I think, during the summer called Q65, and that really, it's a much slower mode to help dig the signals out of the noise. So I worked Alaska, Canada, Cuba, Hawaii, Mexico. In one afternoon, I worked 27 JAs in a row. Now, 2-element beam and 100 watts. So when the band is open, you don't need big aluminum, big power. You just got to be there and have some fun with that. So we're coming up to the 6 meter season again. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Oh, we just finished I just finished another one of these International Space Station slow scan TV events. It only, this one was only for like 48 hours. And the one back before Christmas was for an entire week. So we just go up to the next picture here, please. So here's some of the pictures that I received, and they were focusing on women in space, and I got a lot of really good receptions there, and a couple of little noise bars once in a while. We can go on to the next one.
Those are fantastic.
So here's something I saw early on, and I got this what appeared to be a perfect picture. There's no noise in it. It's nice and straight, but there's all this weird fringing going on. When I first looked at that, I thought it was a 3D photo. Had to get the old blue and red glasses out to look at it. But when I started investigating further, I noticed this little AN lit up on the front of my Icom 9700. We can go on to the next page. And what was happening is that the automatic notch filter was on. So it was trying to track the tones for SSTV. It goes from 1200 hertz is the sync pulse, and then black to white goes from like 1500 to 2300. So the automatic notch filter was trying to track and suck out the tone. And so you can see the difference here. When I turned it off, I got a much better picture. I didn't get the whole thing, but at least all that ghosting that went away. So
smart thinking, Randy. It probably wouldn't have registered in my mind. Great capture, though.
It was driving me nuts because it looked like a signal was echoing or something, and did I have some weird feedback with a delay? But AN, make sure that's turned off.
Randy's pro tip of the week: turn your auto notch off.
I pasted that up on Twitter. So go on to the next one. And this is just to show you that not all of my images are perfect. So this is everything that's stored in the history that window in SSTV, and you can see a lot of noisy pictures, partial pictures, just all noise sometimes, and just get the headers. So it's a fun event. I don't know when the next one will be. I posted this video back in December, how to get on there. I reposted that with a different schedule, timing information the other day. For this event, I've since taken that down. So I'll be watching everything for the next one. I believe that's all on the slides there. Oh, just one more just to talk about the station here. So the antenna that I'm using for the space station is this Comet GP15. It's a 50-146-440 tri-band vertical way up there above the beam. And again, using the Icom at 9700, and it's kind of nice with that waterfall display. I can watch that and I can tune in the Doppler. I can just see that go left and right. So when it's approaching you, you're tuning higher in frequency. When it's right overhead or the closest to you, it'll be right on frequency, and as it goes away, you tune lower. And then, of course, SSTV, the free software to take and decode. So that's the last one there. So fun time. I've also rebuilt my ham station. I got one of these geochrons up here now, and have 3 monitors. So I can spread out all the FT8 windows and logging and all that stuff. So been having a lot of fun here. So that's all from the K7AGE Ham Shack.
Oh,
wow, Randy.
One quick question. Is
Sure.
that PD120? And
Yes.
is there another mode on the slow scan television menu? Because I don't have a PD120, yet I can still get it on Robot.
Yeah, if you are in the, was it the auto mode, it should detect that and switch to it. But you can right click, there's a whole column of the different modes there that's shown. If you right click on it, it'll open up a whole menu of all the other modes, and you can reassign one of those buttons to PD at 120.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
My question. for
Another
Randy.
pro tip.
Yeah, pro tips. You got a lot of them today, Randy. Excellent. So I'm assuming, are you just letting it kind of run in the background, right? You're pointing the MMSTV, SSTV to, leave it on your computer, point your radio on the frequency, and just kind of walk away.
You can do that. Leave the squelch, open, because you don't want to have the squelch opening and closing when it's, just, going over the horizon or just going to, pass away from you. So leave the squelch open. If I was around here, I'd reach over and fiddle with the Doppler. Otherwise, I would just leave it in the middle position, and I would leave it in filter 1, which is 13 kilohertz, I think. I also tried to use a couple of web SDR receivers, but it couldn't find any that really had a good signal from the space station. I got the virtual audio cable, I think, working, and so I could use passes over South America or maybe South Africa. There's stations around the world that you can try. So didn't have any success with that. So you don't win every time.
Very good.
You keep trying.
That's why you play the game.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it really helped for you to show us the photos didn't come through so great. Thank you, Randy, for making us all feel human.
Yeah, his show-off pictures were a little too nice, so I'm glad
Yeah.
he leveled it and showed us that he's mortal.
I thought they were photoshopped, to be honest. No, I couldn't have possibly been that clear. One person, it was lawnmower. Lawnmower, yes, it's spelled differently. Said, learning. In ham radio, it never ends. So there you go. It never ends. We're always going to be learning something.
At one thing figured out, go learn something new, another mode or different band or whatever. There's 100 hobbies within this hobby.
It is.
At
And
least.
there's, yes, all the subgroups of the hobby. Randy, the other thing you showed us, your antenna pictures, but most of our eyes glazed over the big one. Is that a log periodic, and are you loving it?
Well, it's not a log. It's two elements on each band. So
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, and I can tell even with 2 elements, it's not a huge front to back or side to side.
Yeah.
But I can tell when I'm 90 degrees off from somebody. If the signals are weak, I can spin it around and they come up and I get the contact. So. It's not a huge antenna. It looks huge. There's a lot of aluminum there. But,
it is. It is huge.
But, I have a lot of fun with it, and that's what matters.
Well, he definitely breaks some pileups. All right, Randy, thank you so much. Anyone else have any questions?
I just learn so much from you every time you're on, Randy. We appreciate
Amen.
that.
It's
Thank
true.
you.
That
Yeah,
should
if you don't subscribe to his YouTube channel, K7AGE, there's something wrong with you, and we don't want you in the house.
Yeah.
Links in the
That's true,
description,
too.
by the way, for all the
Yes.
people that are often on Ham Nation. So make sure you sub to everybody. By the way, we are taking questions live. Just tag Amanda or myself at Ham Radio Crash Course or at Amanda in the chat, or just type the word question. We'll see it, or I'll see it, and I can pop it up on the screen. But I think we want to hop over to see what's going on with Icom there.
Yeah,
Amanda?
I was going to say, if you want to know how to make more contacts, follow
Get
this
an
info
Icom.
right here.
get an Icom, then follow Randy, and then figure out
Right.
how to use
Exactly.
it.
And turn off your auto notch for
And
crying
turn
out
off your auto notch.
What's wrong with you?
Now is the time to spice up your ham shack with Icom's new, now shipping, ID-52A handheld. This radio is perfect for staying in or venturing out and working your favorite bands this holiday season. Icom's newest handheld amateur radio is a VHF-UHF dual bander with D-Star and FM dual mode functions. The ID-52A is now shipping. This radio supports conventional FM communications and D-Star simplex, repeater, regional, and worldwide calls over the D-Star Internet Gateway. The ID-52A is the first handheld amateur radio with a full-color 2.3-inch waterfall display and the ability to send photos over D-Star with a connected Android device. Other features include wideband receiver with guaranteed range of 144 to 148 and 440 to 450 megahertz, simultaneous receive for VHF-VHF, UHF-UHF, VHF-UHF with dual DV mode. Integrated GPS GLONASS receiver including grid square location, micro SD card slot, micro USB for data transfer, programming, and charge, and it meets IPX7 waterproof specifications. For more information on this and all the great Icom radios, visit icomamerica.com/amateur.
And again, we thank Icom for supporting Ham Nation here on the Ham Radio Crash Course. Every 2 weeks, every time we do this live stream, they open up that little Enter Now button, and you can enter your call sign, give an email, that kind of thing. And they pick 3 winners. Those winners get a swag pack, much like what you saw that they're going to be handing out at HamVention. But the winners, the names, and I got a question on this, and I need to correct it because I think I was incorrect in what I was saying. But I went to the source and asked. So anybody who gets a swag pack, wins a swag pack, their name goes onto a list. And those names are what they pick from when they pick the end of the month winner for the radio giveaway. Meaning if you get in, starting at the beginning of the year, it lasts for the entire year. When they cross over to the new year, the list starts over again. That's how that works. Thank you, Icom, for explaining that to me. So a quick rundown on the names for this episode. Charles C. got a swag pack. Nicholas G. Charles C. KN4WUF. Nicholas G. KO4VOO. And Reed B. Don't think that's a ham yet. Hopefully you're working on your license. All got a swag pack from Icom. The winner of the grand prize, which is the April giveaway for the 2730 mobile radio I use in this shack here, was Jeremy E. KK7WTB. So congratulations to all the winners, and congratulations to Jeremy. I hope you enjoy your radio. Well, we've got Gordo back, and so we're going to keep things rolling. We're going to go right over to Gordo to talk about his short shots, his memories at HamVention. And reminder, just post your questions in the chat. We'll get to them and try to answer them best we can. So thanks so much.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh. And I yelled out the window, AT&T, don't touch a thing, as instructed. All right. Let's take a look at the world's greatest ham fest for the United States, and that is the Dayton HamVention. So, Josh, if you'll go ahead and roll the videos, there we go. Well, HamVention has been around since 1952, and it continues to grow and grow and grow. And when we talk about growing, we're not talking about just a local ham fest that draws maybe 5 or 10 states. We're talking about the world, as what Tim was saying, and Amanda coming to this great ham fest. And it takes a lot of volunteers to put it on. And one of the originals, unfortunately a silent key, but Ron Moorfield, W8ILC, he remembers when it was back at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Dayton. And that was before I was with the industry, but as a young ham, I was accompanied to that for one evening. And let me tell you, now I know why they won't have us back at the Biltmore, because we were having way too much fun. But back then, you just sort of did your thing, and it was fun for me going back all these years. Well, Ham Nation was very honored to have the Dayton HamVention give us a booth and a great presentation. And that's some of the Ham Nation crew many years ago that turned out for the Dayton Ham Fest. But of course, the big event is before the Ham Fest begins, and that is the Wednesday get-together. And Tim, if you're still listening, how are signups going for the Contest University?
I think when you were jumping around on Skype to try and sort out your AT&T thing, Tim hopped off. He's going to talk to another ham club, so he's in another talk right now, live probably somewhere.
Okay, all right. Well, let me tell you, Tim Duffy and Ray Novak are the absolute winners when it comes to getting warmed up for Dayton at Contest University on that Wednesday. It is a huge event, and Tim always likes to dazzle us with something that we've never seen before. And while we've seen a lot of mechanical geochron clocks, he was the first to show us that they've now gone digital. As you can see here, wow, what a great presentation that was. But you know, the good old Dayton HamVention, we have fond memories of the Hera Arena. And they started the Hera Arena not in 1952 when it was at the Biltmore for a day, but Hera Arena for a day beginning 1964. Well, it wasn't until 1974 that I joined up. I was representing Standard Communications and Sideband Engineers, and that was a year that they went from 1 day to 2 days. And boy, I've got to think way back then, 48 years, but it's been fun. And as Tim indicated, the best part is taking a look at the swap meet. And the swap meet at Dayton originally was in March, and you never know what's going to happen in March when it comes to weather. But one thing for sure, if all you brought us was a whole barrel full of antennas going for $5 a piece, they would go like hotcakes, rain or shine. And the vendors out at the swap meet dutifully had their tarps that they could put over, so when it rained or hailed, and one event we even had a little bit of snow in March, we were ready. But the big hurricane, not the hurricane, the big tornado was right around the corner, and that is something that not only did we get a preview of it the year before, but yeah, if you wanted to go for some of those tuned cavities, they were full of water, but what the heck, it's only copper on the inside. And there's Frank, AA2 Dr. Radio, and Frank was showing off of what it's like. And you know, the neat part about it is you never know what you're going to see on the swap meet floor at the outside at Hera Arena, and that is the little micro mobile filled with swap meet stuff. Well, inside, the Hera Arena was unbelievable. It was really old technology, but fun technology. This was one of the ballrooms with hardwood floors. I mean, what a classic facility it was. And, of course, a little fun and humor at Dayton that these kids would go around with the latest hairdos made into three-element beams. But, watch what you step on. Watch where you step, because the Hera Arena with the drip buckets when it rained, I mean, this was just part of Dayton, and everybody loved the Hera, and we realized that it was on thin ice. One time they had an explosion of the sewer line right in the middle of the swap meet. Did not slow a ham down at all. You just walked around it, kept right on rolling. Well, there was no rolling the year before the pandemic, and that's when the tornado took out the Hera Arena. And it was so sad because we had so many fond memories of that great site. So we went over to the Greene County Fairgrounds, and let me tell you, they know how to really do it up big when it comes to allowing us free reign of their 6 professional buildings and big antennas like you see there. Plenty of areas for those in the little wheelchairs and the wheelmobiles to get around. And of course, one thing in Xenia, Ohio, just down the way, maybe 20, maybe 30 miles away from downtown Dayton, they too have the same amount of weather that will get your attention. But you know, hams, we don't worry about that. That fellow on the right leaning into the vehicle is going to worry when he goes to sit down somewhere because his shorts are dripping wet. But this is fun. So what you do is you go inside to the exhibit halls, and they have 6 huge buildings that are staffed with volunteers. Great signage showing where all the different exhibitors are. And from what we're looking at and hearing about 2022 this year, and of course this year's Dayton HamFest is May 20, 21, and 22. That is 2 years of no HamFest because of COVID. But let me tell you, we are so optimistic because almost all of the original manufacturers planning on coming to 2020 and 2021, they are 2020 and 2021. There we go. They're going to be there as well. So there's no let up on who you're going to see. And believe me, there'll be no let up when you see all the great stuff inside and out. And one of the most popular booths, of course, is Icom America. Ray and his team is there, and there's always a long, long line just to see the uncovering of who knows what Icom is going to bring to Dayton 2022. And they were giving away a lot of neat things here, but most of the folks were there just to see some of the new equipment that Icom America would be bringing. And, of course, Ray Novak, what a veteran. He's not only handling the amateur radio division, but also the marine radio division and also working land mobile radio. Wow, a man of many, many talents. These buildings that the new Greene County Fairgrounds has us in are wonderful. And as you can tell, when they can get a tower this big inside a building, it's good. Bob has retired from Heil Sound, but he said he's really not retired. He's just behind the scenes. So while we probably may not see Bob at the normal Heil booth, I guarantee he's probably going to be sneaking around and looking at all the neat things that he's not had a chance to see before because he's always been in the booth. And Kevin with BioEno, this battery has absolutely revolutionized POTA and SOTA in that now we can go to a mountaintop or a park on the air and not have to lug a wet cell battery or a big rechargeable lead acid battery. Now we've got lithium iron phosphate. And you know, this is a safe technology. BioEno Power. You'll see them in one of the booths at Dayton. And, of course, we had some of the last man standing kids in the W5YI booth several years ago. And that's always fun because you never know who you're going to meet. Oh, yeah, well, we'll know that one. There's Joe. And Joe always outdoes himself with great hats. And he is so friendly that you just can't help but go up there going, my gosh, you got a transmitter inside that hat? And he probably does. And, of course, Josh will be there. Josh, are you there for a day? And what are you going to be doing there, Josh?
I am flying in on Wednesday, and I'm flying out on Sunday. So I'm making a go of it.
Oh, good for you. Well, I'm coming in the same time, Wednesday through Sunday. And who's this fella with the big fuzzy beard? When are you getting in, Randy?
We're flying in Tuesday just in case the flights screw up and we end up there on Wednesday. So, and fly home on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's smart. You always want to go at least a day or 2 or 3 early. And look at these kids. Don, let's see. Don, you're not going to make it this year, but you're going to probably be there in spirit, right, Don?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be there in spirit. I'm going to be crying that whole weekend, missing it.
Okay. And, of course, I'll be there, and we're doing the Instructor Academy. So for those of you that want to know more about the W5YI Instructor Program, Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we don't know yet where that will be because they have several forums. We'll be there, and we'll look forward to seeing you there, and that is the Instructor Academy. And I understand that DX Engineering is continuing to have their very large booths, their personnel, and I like this. They're all dressed in not a uniform, but the same type of shirts. And these folks are real hams, and they're the ones that will talk you out of something that won't go together and talk you into something that will be a better fit. So you always get the straight stuff. And the American Radio Relay League will have their own section in one of the big buildings at the convention site for HamVention. And there you see some of the technical types that are ready to look at your handheld or whatever radio you have on a spectrum analyzer. And this is Bob Enderbetson. Bob is absolutely a silent key employee of the American Radio Relay League. He does more ham shows than you can shake a stick at, and Bob's one of the few people that carries a tablet. And if you need a widget or a gadget or a whatever, he is there to take notes, and the next week in the mail you'll get it. So there's the main man that really gets stuff done. Oh, there's our lady friend again with her hairdo, with her call sign, and 5-element beam. Well, let's talk swap, because as Tim was saying, nothing beats a great swap meet at a ham fest. One of the largest swap meet takes place here in the field, where it's run by equestrians most of the time until they say, okay, hold on your horse and carriage, because we're going to be doing something else. The first year, they had a wonderful layout. The only thing that they didn't anticipate was well, they anticipated it, but they didn't realize how much rain they were going to get. Not too much rain during the actual event, but it's enough to make it a little bit muddy in that center section where folks would be walking back and forth. So Mike Calder says, well, let me think about this. And he says, I got it. What we're going to do is we're going to line the entire acres of swap meet area with lanes for folks to walk on so they won't get bogged down. And so instead of walking on this, you're now walking on what would be this nice dark area. And there he is. When you see Mike Calder soon at Dayton, tell him he was looking good. And looking at that beard, Randy, he's going to give you a little competition. Yeah, that's Mike Calder with a big fuzzy beard, and he's backing that. Well, then it comes time for the folks to move in, and let me tell you, they are so well organized for the swap meet. And I always like to get and start looking at the swap meet the day before the show actually opens on Friday. So after the big get-together of Contest University on Thursday, that's when I like to get there and see all the neat things that are going. This one fella had a whole bunch of CB radios that he was selling the entire contents for like $50. CB radios? Well, don't say anything. Just go, yeah, cheap old CB radios. And if I had more room, I would have brought them all home. But and he finally sold off everything he had, and they were not CB radios, but very functional ham radios that were just ready for a new buyer. And if you're into old stuff, look at this, a hand crank, and they were making 75-meter contacts left and right. The Dayton HamVention is so large that the Greene County Fairgrounds were not able to have enough permanent buildings, so they erected very professional and water-resistant tenting. And this tenting right off one of the main buildings would hold about 100 additional exhibitors. And even though we had some pretty good rainstorms inside, things were dry, relatively dry. And that's the mesh network, the Arden setup that folks were staffing. And the best part about Dayton is the food. And Mike Calder says we're going to have more exciting food vendors. Holy smoly, there's so many great outside vendors with food. every kind that you would look at and smell at. And for dessert, ice cream handmade with a steam engine. Remember that, Randy? Oh, no, you've not been there yet, Randy, have you? Well, yeah, Don was. Yeah, that's where I would see Don all the time, me and Don chewing away on ice cream. But it's a steam engine that actually runs that ice cream maker. And it goes boom, and then there'd be a long pause, and then boom, and another long pause. It was good. Many of the big exhibitors who came in also brought along their own tents, so they were actually outside, but they had plenty of hay, so you wouldn't get mud in your shoes. So it's a wonderful event. Everybody's so friendly, and we just make it happen. And wow, the parking lot with vehicles, easy parking, actually easier than the Hera Arena. And this is one of the well-known rovers that is on VHF and UHF and SHF. She goes all over the East Coast lighting off loads of grids. So maybe she'll come to the West grid and you can work her, Randy. And, of course, Rosalie White with the Amateur Radio International Space Station team. And her team will actually have 2 booths this year. And she's going to be there talking about the crossband repeater and talk about all of the slow scan activity the last couple of days. And good job, Randy, on those slow scans. So there's going to be something for everyone. So I hope to see many of you at the W5YI ham instructor booth. And I promise that I've got one more shot, I think, maybe makes it. Uh-oh. And that's okay. Don't let it go. It's no problem at all.
It's right there. There it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
You'll know that it's me that I'll drag out and put on a shirt from the earlier shot. So, Amanda, I'll go over to you in case anyone should have a question. And again, Dayton is only a month away, May 20, 21, and 22. Amanda?
It is. It's only a month away. And the only other thing I wanted to comment on, and I cannot believe I didn't bring this up, is the Voice of America Museum.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I feel really bad to not mention Jocelyn and the gang that hosts their tours. Be sure to put that on your list. Don, you've done it, right?
Oh yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. In fact, okay. when Dawn and I went to Neil Rapp's wedding, yes. I took her there, and she's not a ham. She tried to get her license many years ago, and she ended up not doing it. But she grew up with me around broadcasting forever, since we got married. But she thoroughly enjoyed the Voice of America Museum. So you don't have to be in radio to appreciate the history.
Yep.
When Adolf Hitler refers to you as the Cincinnati Liars, you're doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sorry, BOA, but you have been mentioned now, so yes. I'm glad to get that on your list.
When they were on the show last, they were talking how they're going to have extended hours during HamVention for hams that want to go. And always the tip is, if you go to a tour, mention that you are a ham radio operator, and there's a special tour you go on. So make sure you do that.
That's it.
Yeah,
that they give you the inside look, and then you get to see their station setup and stuff like that. So, and they just had that very successful special event station a couple months ago. So, thank you, Gordo. We appreciate it.
Gordo, I gotta mention, your AT&T is killing you because he cues me on when to flip the images, and your video was cutting in and out. Your audio was perfect, so I wasn't getting the cues. So if I missed it, I apologize on some of those. But you did a great job. Thank you, Gordo.
Thank you, AT&T, for doing that.
Ham radio operators, they adapt. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, once we figure out how we can do the live stream over ham radio, then that's what we'll be. But until then, I guess we're stuck with the internet.
Great.
Okay, Don, it's all yours, brother.
It's all yours, Don.
Gordo, I loved the presentation about past and present of HamVention. My first HamVention was 1999. Of course, it was Hera Arena, and it took 3 years, 99, 2000, and 2001, for me to figure out exactly, well, not exactly, but mostly where everything was, because everything was just so convoluted. So you had this, and then off to this angle, and you go up the little by Audio Alley, and Greene County is a huge improvement, but I do miss the funkiness of Hera. And just to clarify, Greene County, I was at the beer tent. I stayed away from the ice cream. I was at the beer tent. So, just gotta say that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news of the week from Amateur Radio Newsline, and we've got a big report also from Dr. Tamitha Skov. So roll that beautiful bean footage.
From Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2319, this is Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. In the U.S., the Federal Communications Commission has clarified its new application fee, which takes effect this month.
If you're looking to upgrade your U.S. amateur radio license, the FCC's new $35 application fee will not apply to you. The Commission recently clarified the circumstances under which the new fees will be applied when they take effect on April 19th. The FCC said that upgrading amateur radio license classes or changing club station trustees are exempt from the fee. The fee does not apply to any changes of email address or postal mailing address either. The fee will be applied, however, for new licenses, renewals, rule waivers, or new vanity call signs. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Hams in the U.S. are attending an important virtual workshop on hurricane preparedness, and its various sessions will be available on YouTube afterward.
As hurricane season moves in along the east coast of the United States, amateur radio operators will be able to train for hurricane preparedness during a free workshop being held virtually on Monday, April 11th. The workshop is taking place during the National Hurricane Conference, with various sessions being held from 10:30 a.m. to noon and from 1:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Topics include the importance of surface reporting by ham radio operators, an overview of the Hurricane WatchNet, a look at the VoIP Hurricane Net, and best practices in Skywarn. There will also be a presentation on the Salvation Army Team Emergency Response Radio Network, known by the acronym SATURN. The workshop will be held on Zoom. Those who are unable to attend or missed the workshop altogether can view everything later on YouTube. The workshop may be virtual, but hurricane season is not. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Randy Sly, W4XJ.
This is an exciting year for amateurs who are active in the Summits on the Air award scheme.
Just as hams in the Summits on the Air award scheme rise through the tier of awards to increase their standing, so too the award scheme scaled new heights. For the past month, SOTA has been marking its 20th anniversary in England and Wales, the birthplaces of the programme, which now has more than 24,000 participants on all major continents. During April, SOTA management team member Tom Reed, M1EYP, will be operating special event station GB20 SOTA from the summit of the cloud, which is designated as G/SP-015 in the SOTA award scheme. Additional special event calls will be on the air throughout this year as hams in Northern Ireland, Scotland and the United States mark the occasion. The celebration kicked off last month with summit activations by GW Association manager Roger Dallimore, MW0IDX, under the GB2 OTA call sign in Wales. Free commemorative certificates will be available. For Amateur Radio Newsline, Ahmed Durant, DD5LP.
A reminder, the nominating period for the 2022 Bill Pasternak WA6 ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award is now open. The nominating form can be found on our website, arnewsline.org. Hover your mouse over Awards and you'll see it in the top of the drop-down menu. We invite you to join us in Alabama at the Huntsville Hamfest on Saturday, August 20th, as we present the award live on the main stage. To learn more about the Huntsville Hamfest, please visit hamfest.org. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Stephen Kinford, N8WB, Randy Sly, W4XJ, Ed Durant, DD5LP, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3, we'll see you next time here on Ham Nation. Now here's a solar update from Dr. Tamitha Skov, WX6SWW.
We have an Earth-directed solar storm, and on its heels, a fast wind chaser. Those stories and more in the news this week. This space weather forecast is sponsored in part by Millersville University. Come get certified in broadcast space weather. Visit millersville.edu/SWEN. Space weather this week has definitely calmed down compared to last week, but man, things are still pretty exciting. As we take a look at our Earth-facing disk, you can see two coronal holes. One of them had been passed through the Earth strike zone, and we've been getting a little bit of storming from that. But back on the 11th, pow, right there, did you see that? That was an Earth-directed solar storm from old region 2987. And in fact, when we take a look at coronagraphs, you can see there's a full halo right there that confirms that this storm is Earth-directed, and we'll talk more about prediction models in a minute. But once that storm arrives, you can see there's another coronal hole off to the sun's east. That coronal hole is going to be sending us some fast solar wind right on the tail of this solar storm. So we're going to kind of get a 1-2 punch, and that should bring some decent aurora down to mid-latitudes, maybe for a day or two before things begin to quiet down. Meanwhile, as solar flux has kind of died down a little bit, we only have 2 active regions on the Earth-facing disk right now, so it's a big difference compared to about a week ago. Nonetheless, we're still hovering about 100 for solar flux, which means amateur radio operators and emergency responders, your propagation should still be pretty good on the day side, but things might calm down a little bit before they get better. Now, as we take a look at our far-sighted sun, this is stereo A, and it's looking at the sun just a little bit from the side. You can see those 2 coronal holes early on, but they begin to rotate off of the sun's west limb in stereo's view. You can also see on the 11th that big bam right there, that big solar storm that's headed toward Earth. But now take a look on the stereo's east limb. You can see a few regions that are rotating into stereo's view, and a couple of them are, especially the one in the north, these are solar storm producers. So these look like they could actually begin to give us some decent boost to that solar flux. They also might be big flare players. We won't know for another 3 or 4 days, but as they begin to rotate in stereo's view and into Earth view, it looks like aurora chances are still going to be on the horizon. Now, getting back to that solar storm, we switched to our prediction model Enlil. Now, this is NOAA's version of the model. The top panel's density, the bottom panel's velocity, and you're looking down at the sun from the North Pole with Earth being off to the right. And when we take a look, you can see that solar storm launching, but you can also see that it's launching, especially if we look down at the bottom panel, you can see that sea of green. That sea of green that's chasing that solar storm, that is the fast solar wind. So you can see that we're actually going to get hit by that solar storm first, and then that fast solar wind will come as a chaser. In fact, that fast solar wind is actually causing this storm to be a bit of a density plug. So it's actually going to be quite dense, we think, as it comes and hits Earth. It also will be a direct hit. In fact, the impact is expected to be about 8 o'clock UTC time on the 14th, according to this model, and it should bring us some decent aurora clear down to mid-latitudes. Now, as we switch to the NASA's version of the model, again, you're looking down at the sun from the North Pole with Earth being off to the right. In this case, the solar storm being launched is a little bit slower. The impact is a little bit later, coming closer to about noon on the 14th. But either way, that's a pretty good agreement, and we should see aurora down to mid-latitudes. It's definitely a direct hit, so all you aurora chasers, be sure to keep your batteries charged. Switching to your solar storm conditions and aurora possibilities over the coming week, we are anticipating the hit from that Earth-directed solar storm with that fast wind chaser, and this should be a pretty good hit. In fact, at high latitudes, NOAA's expecting major storm conditions with up to about an 80% chance of a major storm, in fact, and this could last over a couple days from the 14th into the 15th easily before things begin to settle down over the weekend. So your aurora photographers at high latitudes, definitely get ready for this show. I know some of you are worried about that midnight sun coming up or beginning to lose your nighttime hours. So this may be the really last big chase of the season for you. Now, mid-latitudes, we're not expecting as hard a hit, just minor storm conditions, but we do have up to about a 25% chance of a major storm. And again, it could last in through the beginning of the weekend before things settle down because of that fast solar wind. So get ready, aurora chasers, even at mid-latitudes, you could be in for a show. So the space weather this week is definitely very exciting. We have an Earth-directed solar storm that should be hitting us right around the 14th, probably before noon, and it could bring aurora clear down to mid-latitudes. Now, it will be chased also by some fast solar wind that could extend the storming a little bit longer, and that means great news for aurora photographers both at high latitudes and mid-latitudes. Keep your batteries charged because you could get a decent show. Now, amateur radio operators and emergency responders, well, you know, things aren't too bad. We have dipped down back into the double digits for solar flux on Earth's day side, but just barely. So radio propagation on Earth's day side should remain pretty good. We definitely don't have any risk for radio blackouts, and the only thing you need to worry about is when that solar storm hits, you might get a bit of disruption on Earth's night side. But hang in there because it looks like we've got new regions rotating into Earth view here in the next week that will then boost that solar flux back up into the triple digits for you. And now GPS users, well, you know, it's not so bad. The day side is pretty quiet. We don't have any radio blackouts, so your reception should be perfect on Earth's day side. And then on the night side, well, as long as you steer clear of aurora and clear of those dawn-dusk terminators during that solar storm, your GPS reception should be pretty top-notch. I'm Tamitha Skov, the Space Weather Woman. Thank you for watching.
There you go. Good stuff from the Newsline crew and Dr. T, of course. You need to follow her on Twitter at Tamitha Skov and check out spaceweatherwoman.com. Now, Gordo, I want to get back to Dayton for a second and a little clarification on the beer tent. Anytime you do anything with alcohol, of course, you need to have a designated driver. Now, we weren't driving anywhere, but just to be safe, we practiced the buddy system. So not a designated driver, more of a designated idiot, I guess. And we Steve, W7UDI, we fulfill that designated idiot function for each other because, you know, misery loves company. And besides, when we hit the beer tent, we made a lovely couple. Now, a lovely couple of what? I have no idea, but we were lovely. And Steve, you're a good friend, and I appreciate you. And so now you need to send me a check for that compliment. Amanda Beck.
That's another good reason for the bus.
See,
Yes.
exactly. That's exactly right. You know, I miss parking at the Salem Mall and taking the bus to Hera. That was an event right there. Oh, the old days, man! I love the old HamVention.
That's where you would find me, the beer tent.
The beer tent. Yeah.
And,
Well, maybe that's where we'll live stream next time. We can all get together for
Perfect.
HamVention. We'll do it from the beer
Speaking
tent.
of live streaming, I love that idea, Josh. By the way, somebody had asked you YouTubers are going to be there live streaming. Yeah, you're going to be all over the place. You're going to have your sticks out, and
We're gonna get all our sticks out. Well, wait a second. Hold on. Yeah, Don was all over that one. We saw where that was going. Yes.
No, I know where that. No.
It all depends on how good the network is. The last time we were there in 2019, the cell phones were not fantastic. For those that have watched me at Huntsville and then last at HamVention, I will live stream and do a walkthrough of the whole place and take questions live. We'll go to the swap meet and people ask questions about, hey, what's that thing? Like that hand crank. There was one of those at Huntsville that we got asked a lot about. Yeah, so we'll definitely be live streaming. We're trying to work out where I'll have a more, stable show for like an hour talking about stuff. So look forward to that. I'll have videos on my channel prompting everybody when they'll be. So yeah, thanks for asking.
That'll be fun. By the way, for those who don't know exactly when Huntsville is, it's exactly 3 months after HamVention.
Easy to remember.
Nice.
Exactly 3 months.
And speaking of the selfies, Don, evidently we're going to need cutouts of you, of me, and now of Valerie. So
I've got one somewhere around here. I don't know where it is now. Me on a stick.
This out in the world.
Flat Don on a stick. Yeah.
Now, if it's a fried Don on a stick, then we really got to worry.
No, it's not cheesy Don on a stick.
Cheesy Don on a stick.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, couple more things tonight.
Yes.
I have. We want to talk about World Amateur Radio Day.
Yes.
That's going to be Monday, April 18th.
Yes.
Hopefully everyone is out there planning something special, at least getting on the air. Please do that at least. I am going to be hosting a Colorado net, basically, but it's actually open to the whole world. So follow find the Fun Machine on Facebook or follow me on Facebook, and you'll see how you can jump in there with maybe a multi-mode. You could jump in with if you have a hotspot, you can get in on DMR. Donna, I'm holding you on this too.
Yeah.
DMR, D-Star, NXDN, P25. I've missed one. M17 now. Ham Shack Hotline even. So.
What's the Fun Machine on YouTube or Facebook? What was that?
Yeah, the Fun Machine. That's a repeater system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's WE0FUN,
the
Fun Machine system.
Don't
ask how it got its nickname.
I get it. I get it now.
Anyhow, we're going to have announcements on there, and I'm going to be hosting this net, and I have I've never done this before, so I have absolutely no how long it's going to take, but it could take 15 minutes if no one checks in, or it could take 4 hours. So we'll find out. That's going to be 7:30 Mountain Time is when that's going to start. Other things I'd like to encourage people to do is send WinLink and radiograms that day. Learn how to do it. Send them to whoever. Yes. Have some fun with it.
Send them to non-hams.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Send them to non-hams and tell them you got this from Ham Radio.
Yeah.
Yes. Government, journalist kind of perspective. That would be interesting to see if they receive them, things like that. Or even some of your served agencies, maybe your sheriff or something like that. So do that.
Submit your taxes that way.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
No.
Nice.
First, I mean, I think that is the last day to file.
Is it? Yeah,
technically.
probably.
So. Yeah. you could file that extension that way.
Yeah.
I know how they file stuff for us. Okay, this one is funny. So, we're gonna go to. Is everyone a Wordle fan? I'm a Wordle fan. I love doing this every day. You're in.
And
okay.
Soundle or musical or something like that, where it's a song of the day. All that. There's so many of them.
I have not done that. Evidently, they brought in Ham Radio.
Of course they did.
I thought that this was an April Fool's joke, but evidently this is a real thing. Josh is bringing it up right now. It's called Morsel.
Yep. And my audience is not necessarily new to this. We played this a couple of weeks ago when we were doing practicing.
Did you really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, for practicing for CW. This is a fantastic website. Everybody should go to it. Morsel.fun, and it is fun.
It starts. This is the interesting part. It starts. You get 3 tries to try to guess the 5-character word, and at 40 words per minute.
Yep.
And then if you do 3 tries, and then what, Josh? It slows it down 5 words per minute.
Well, let's just show them. I'll click the button. They should be able to hear it. Everybody should be able to. Here we go.
Tell us what it is, chat room.
Who heard that? Anybody get that? That was 40 words per minute.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, you didn't hear it? Okay, hold on, everybody.
No.
Oh, because I'm not screen sharing. That's why. Hold on. Because we had a bit of a background change there. So let's see if you can see that. All right, let's try that again. Here we go. 40 words per minute. Did you hear it?
Gordo, did you get it?
Are you hearing it, though, on the Skype side? You guys are hearing
it?
Yeah,
okay,
we're hearing it, yeah.
Sorry.
Here it goes again.
No clue.
Nah.
Da at the end. So
yeah, caught that, yeah.
Started with A.
Is it
Rusty?
Ah!
Wow, look at you.
Bit of help from the chat there. Who got that?
I don't know. I saw someone put in water.
Ron,
so
K9 ID, you got it. I got some of that, but good job, Ron. Nicely done. We should just end the show with that every day that we do this.
Think so.
That's
we should.
fun.
Here's your morsel. That is amazing.
Here's what's cool about it being rusty. Our friend Neil Rapp, when he was growing up, that was his nickname. So that's neat about that being rusty.
Well,
Rusty Rapp.
Send him to Morsel before the day ends, so he can get in on that fun.
Funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. He's probably watching.
Man, and evidently we just gave a spoiler to someone in the chat room. I am so sorry, Richard, that you hadn't done yours today. Now you know what the answer is.
Oh well, there's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow. Okay, we got to wrap this up. Where are we at? Oh, nets. We've got 14,275 for the 20-meter net. W7UDI is hosting that. KC7 FPF had moved to 7193.
My designated idiot. He is.
Steve, you hit Dawn up on that later.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about it. 7193 is what I said. D-Star, 14 Charlie, DMR, 31012, where it always is. So thank you to our net controls. You guys do a fantastic job, and you deal with us running over and all of those things. And we definitely appreciate it. And Paul on D-Star said it was weather related if he was not going to go very long, but we'll see. Join in and get your check-in. So, all right. There you go. Join us next in 2 weeks on April 27th when we'll have, don't confuse this with Mike Coulter. This is Mike Walters from the ARRL Field Services. So he's going to be joining us to talk about some club grants that are going to be available through the ARRL.
All right. Sorry we went wrong a little bit long, everybody, but thank you for hanging out. We do appreciate it. Happy Easter for everybody that celebrates.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Passover. Happy Passover as well. It's Passover.
Yes.
Oh, wow. It's a twofer.
Yep.
It is.
It is.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching Ham Nation again. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and until then, 73s, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
73.
Yeah, 73.
All right. Good job, everybody. Thank you.
I would
This is
have
our
never been
banter
able
on
to
the way
understand that. I wouldn't have gotten that CW, man. Maybe 5 words per minute, maybe.
I'm so out of practice on that.
Of them, but no, I still need a lot of work. Thanks, everybody. All right.
Hey, what's the 20-meter frequency, Amanda? I may try to get on and talk to my
darling,
designated
it was
idiot. 273?
275, I believe.
275. All right.
275.
I may try to get on and talk to my designated idiot.
Oh, you should do that.
I love that guy.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.